Hello everybody. Today we'll be fixing a jam on the Centauri carbon, and I'm pretty sure this is either a heatsink jam or a gear jam in the filament extruder. I can tell so because I have heated the extruder to about 200 degrees Celsius, and when I try to extrude, you hear the motor of the gears kind of making that clicking sound. So it's either a jam up in the gears or it's a jam in the heatsink. So the tools that we're going to need are a lighter, some pliers preferably, and special tool. I have an Allen wrench, and this has to be a either 1.75 millimeters or smaller in diameter, so it can go through the filament hole. So let's get started. So actually the first step you have to do, you have to unload your filament. Let's see if it wants to unload. That is kind of hear it get jammed while trying to retract the filament. And let's see if it actually cut. And no, it did not retract. See, I'm pulling on the filament and it's not pulling. So that means we're gonna have to disassemble it, cut it, and then see what we can do from there. Before you want to do anything, you want to make sure that the nozzle temperature is around 60 degrees Celsius, just so that you don't burn yourself. And to make that a little bit quicker, we can go to fan. I can go to model fan. I can turn the model fan on so it cools just a little bit quicker. And I'll get back to you guys. Okay, so now you see I have it around, the nozzle temperature is around 60 degrees Celsius. So we're gonna position this. It might ask you to home it, but we're gonna position this so that the nozzle is right in the middle, and you need to lower the bed. So go ahead and lower the bed and move this to the middle. Then from here, this is just a magnetic piece, so you can pull that apart. Just like so. There is a wire right here which connects your model fan to your nozzle, or your model fan to your actual head. So we can just unplug this, and now you can see the actual hot end. And you're gonna actually need to remove these screws first. This one right here, this one right here, and there's two more on the same side, or the other side. It's gonna be this one right here, and you got one more right here. So I'm gonna remove those really quick. I'm pretty sure they're a 2mm hex. I'm just using a simple screwdriver for this. Specialty tool. I got it for Walmart for like 12 bucks maybe. And yeah, just remove those four, and then we'll continue from there. Also, here's a quick tip. If you remove the PEI plate, this actually becomes magnetic, so you can unscrew the screws and actually just drop them on there, and they'll stick just like so. Okay, once you have those four removed, those four 2mm hex screws removed, you want to pull this out just like so, and you want to push down and then pull this out just like so, and then get your pliers, just cut that filament right there. Make sure you don't cut anything else. Okay, and now we can move on to the next step. Okay, your next step is going to be removing these 4 screws right here, right here. You got another one up top, right here, and one more. It's gonna be right in between the lever, and you see it right there. Bang, right there. Once you get those screws out, you can pull out the actual hot end. But you have to be careful because there is a heating element that's connected to this port, and then also a temperature gauge that's connected to this port. So you have to unplug those two before you can actually remove them. So plug it, and just so you know, it will shut down once you unplug this one. That's completely normal. Okay, so we're now looking at the actual hot end of the 3D printer. So these are, I'm pretty sure these are 2mm hex screws right here that you have to remove first. So let me go ahead and do that really quickly. Just so you know, you can differentiate them because these screws are actually going to be longer than the ones that you just removed. Okay, now we're almost done with that. Last thing before we pull this apart is actually going to be removing the heatsink and the nozzle from the extrusion gear. And this one, these screws right here are the screws that you have to remove. I think they're going to be 2.5mm. Let me check real quick. I have the 2.5 right here. Let me see if it works. And yes, they're 2.5. So just remove these. You'll hear a click. That's going to be the tension. That's right over here. There's a spring right here. So yep, that's completely normal. And then these are also really long screws. Okay, so now once you remove them, you can lift this up, and then when you flip it over, boom, it's your extrusion gear. And there's a blade right here that cuts the filament. It's the blade that cuts the filament. So you're going to actually manually push this blade to make sure that the filament is cut. Just like that. And then after that, you can try to see if you can spin some gears to track the filament. Might be a little bit hard. You can actually see in here, if you look closely, where the actual filament is stuck right in between here. And try to kind of force it out. Be very careful though, because it is very jammed, stuck in there, and you might round some gears if you're not careful. I'm actually gonna take some pliers and see if I can just pull this filament out. This shit's annoying, bro. Wow, that is really jammed in there. You can see where it's jammed. So basically what I did, I just pulled out this little gear, kind of just force it out. You can see the bearings gonna want to come out too. It's really right in between the filament, so. And yeah, that's just nasty. You can see exactly where it got stuck. And that is going to be very hard to get out. But hopefully we can make it work. Oof, there you go. There you go. Okay, so now the filament is unjammed. That took quite a bit. But now you can actually inspect this. And it looks like we might have to disassemble the nozzle and do a little cold pull action just to make sure that that it's not the heatsink that is jammed or the nozzle. So to disassemble this, the first thing we're going to want to do is get a pair of pliers, and do not hold the hot end like this while you're unscrewing the nozzle, because that heat gap right there that separates the actual nozzle from the heatsink, that will snap off. Trust me, that's happened to one of my hot ends before because I thought it was a little bit stronger. But make sure to grab it from here, and then you're gonna get your 6mm socket. 1 second. And you're going to untwist this. So again, do not hold it from here. When you do this, hold it from the actual hot end, or the actual part of the nozzle. You might have to remove this sleeve first, and then actually go ahead and snap this off. Okay, and we can quickly check the nozzle by just blowing inside of it. Let's see if there's resistance.
Device disconnected.
You might need to get it out. And it looks like, yes, we do have some filament stuck in here. And to fix that, we will just have to stick like a needle or a guitar string through it while it's heated at 220 degrees Celsius, and as you're extruding the filament down. So I don't know why this is bad. Okay, to clear the actual heatsink thingy, we will be needing a Allen key that is 1.75 millimeters or less to actually heat up and stick through either one of these holes, so we can try to do a cold pull and pull out all the filament out. So that's what we're going to attempt. Okay, so we got our lighter. I'm going to be using this. You guys can tell I've done this more than once, but this is just a simple Allen wrench. I think it came with that printer actually. This is a little less than 1.75 millimeters. So I'll heat this up, stick it in here, try to pull it out. If it doesn't work, I'll go from the other side, try to pull it out, and just keep on doing that until it actually comes out. Also, don't forget to use a rag, because you do not want to burn yourselves. Allen keys are very conductive. So also, it is very important that you make sure that it's cooled down enough before you pull it out, or else it cause, you know, even more problems with you taking it in and out, and then, you know, it melting inside of the little metal thing right here, and yeah. So it's been about, say, 45 seconds. So I'm gonna try to pull this out. There you go. Boom, just like that. It's unclogged now. And let's see, if we take a piece of like test filament, you can see it actually wants to go in there now. So success on that end. And also make sure that nothing's really else inside of here. Got me some filament. See if it slides in there. And yep, we're all good. So now we can reassemble the whole thing, which is pretty simple. You just put it back together how you found it. Don't forget to put the thermostat, or not the thermostat, the heater element and the thermostat right here back in. The actual heating element that goes in here, like so. Then put your sleeve on. just like that. Okay, I'm gonna put my sleeve back on. Just like that. Now I can put this back into here. Okay, I'm gonna put these long 2mm screws back in first. Okay, now that all of these are tightened, I'll go ahead and put 2.5mm screws right here. Okay. Now, we'll put your nozzle back in. Right here. That's your nozzle. 4mm nozzle. Just screw that back in. You don't want to screw it too tight, or you might end up breaking the little heat gap right here. That's also why you want to hold it from the actual heating element before you actually screw it in. Now put this back in, and just to test it one more time, there's this manual gear you can push up and down. And you see as I insert it, you can see it's actually going inside now. It's actually inserting now. Ooh, see. Okay. Now you can just reassemble this, and we'll see how it goes from there. Okay, I know it's a little dark under my bed, but what I'm gonna do next, I'm gonna plug these two plugs back in. These go into, I don't know if you can see, they go into these two ports right here. And then after that, I can actually turn on the lights on my carbon, so we'll actually be able to see what we're doing. Okay, so I have plugged it back in, those two ports. It's kind of just hanging there right now. But now we can go to details on the serious error that we might have or might have not caused, and we can press reboot. And then after that, after reboots, we can turn on the light. It won't give us that error code anymore since we did replug that back. Okay, now we don't have a serious error anymore. We can turn the light on, just like so, and we can reassemble it. So first thing I'm gonna do, put this right back where it's supposed to be, just like so. And then I'm gonna put those bolts right here, right here, right here, right here. I'll put those back in. Then I'm gonna put this on and then put that back in. So I'll let you guys know how it goes. Okay, so I got those 4 screws right here, right here, and right here back in, and I have pushed this back into the collar and make sure it's actually secure. So now I am going to just put this right here and then connect all of the 4. Ooh. 1 second. they can, you know, yeah, connect all these four, and yeah, you know what I'm talking about. Okay, I've connected this back into the head. So next thing we're gonna do, plug this model fan back into the head, and we should be able to extrude by then. So I'll see you guys in a couple seconds. Okay, so I plugged it back in, and this is just magnetic, so it's kind of just snapped in like that. And now we can see if we can extrude the filament. Go to the extrude button and pressing load. It's heating up. Model fan is working, spinning. Very nice, very nice. Okay, prompting the load the filament. Somebody's gonna give my filament a push right here. And yep, it's feeding in. That's a good sign. Let me see if yeah, you can see the filament. I don't know if you can see that well, but the filament is finally pushing through, like in the nozzle. And yep, that's how you fix it. If you guys enjoyed the video, like and subscribe. Drop a comment down below if you have any questions. And yeah, this might be my one and only video, because this thing was a pain in the butt and I couldn't find any other videos on it. So I'll see you guys. Just before I go, do remember to do the PID tuning, because we tinkered with the hot end and it's always a good idea to calibrate it when you've been tinkering with it. Anyways, see you guys in the next video. Bye bye.